right, guys, the NBA is back, and so are we. I am Matt Kowalis from Detroit Sports Bettors, and every single Wednesday, we will be going over our PrizePicks DFS top 5 plays for the NBA slate. Yes, today is Thursday, but it's the first game back from All-Star break, so I figured we had to hit it. Okay, if you are not following Detroit Sports Bettors on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, would greatly appreciate a follow there. And as for myself, I am PrizePicks on Twitter, would greatly appreciate a follow there, trying to get out as much information as possible, trying to expand on the content. And a lot of my content and sports information does go down on my Twitter, so would greatly appreciate a follow there. As for PrizePicks DFS, if you have not signed up yet, I cannot recommend it enough, and use that code DSB for 100% money match when you sign up with PrizePicks. With that being said, though, I want to make these videos quick, so let's get right into it. Top 5 plays, PrizePicks DFS for Thursday, February 24th, first day back from All-Star break. And the player that we are going to be starting with first is one of my favorites in the entire league, and that is Shai GilgeousAlexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, Shai GilgeousAlexander was out for just about a month with an ankle sprain. Okay, when he was, or before the All-Star break, before the ankle sprain, he was averaging 22.7 points per game, and tonight his over/under is at 21.5. So yes, you do get a little bit of value there. One thing that you do have to keep in mind is definitely there could potentially be a minutes restriction. I don't really see it. You know, he had the ankle sprain, then the All-Star break, so he had a little more time to get right, to get his conditioning up. And this is a 23-year-old athlete. I don't think conditioning is going to be an issue. He is their number one option. He was averaging 17.6 shots per game and 7.6 free throws per game before the injury. So I think he returns right to form. I understand this is going against the Phoenix Suns, who is a tough opponent, but the Suns have somewhat been keeping people kind of close. And even if it does get out of hand, I think they'll give Shai some run just to get him back into form and to try and get him right after the injury. So first play of the day, probably my favorite play of the day, is Shai GilgeousAlexander over 21.5 points against the Phoenix Suns. Moving on, we have Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, and Steph Curry is currently at over/under at 24.5, and they are facing the Portland Trailblazers, and this is a new-look Portland Trailblazers team. This is not a good team. They run fast. They don't play a ton of defense. If, in fact, this is able to stay close, then I for sure see Steph hitting this. I think there is some blowout risk here just because this team is so different, so new. You know, they got Anfernee Simons running the point. They got Josh Hart running the 2. They got Justice Winslow running the 4. But one thing that the Warriors do struggle with is always a true center, a good big center. So Nurkic could potentially have a good game and maybe keep them in it. We'll see. But I still love this Steph Curry over 24.5 points. You know, Steph dropped 50 in the All-Star game. And Steph is one of those players who, once he heats up and he gets in rhythm, he doesn't tend to lose it. He's a streaky shooter, you know. And now, in the past 5 games, Steph has hit this in 4 straight games and going over 30 points in 4 of those games. Now, again, they're going against the Portland Trailblazers, who ranked 29th in opponent three-point percentage, 26th in overall field goal percentage. So I think Steph is one of those guys here where can definitely highlight the night, get over 24.5. This could be one of those nights too where he gets this in the third quarter for us. I could see him going off. Again, Portland is not a good defending team. This is the time where the Warriors need to get hot, to start clicking, the star players start to come out. So give me Steph Curry over 24.5 points tonight. Moving on, we have the Detroit Pistons and Jeremy Grant over 16.5 points. Yes, they face off against the Cleveland Cavaliers, so this is going to be a slow game. This is probably going to be a lower scoring game. You know, Cleveland is truly one of the better defending teams in the entire NBA. But Jeremy Grant does average 19 points per game on the season, so you're getting 2.5 points with this line. You know, before Jeremy Grant went down from injury, he was averaging 20.6 points per game. And in reality, for me, I just believe Jeremy had to get right after the injury. He was out for nearly a month, maybe more than a month even. And once you come back from that, you do. Some players slide right in and they're good to go. Some, it just takes a little while to gel. And last game against the Boston Celtics, I believe Jeremy Grant put up 24. He shot at a high percentage. So I think he is returning to form. And now going against the Cleveland Cavaliers, they don't exactly have someone who is stylistically a great matchup for Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant's not a true power forward. He's not and I mean that because Evan Mobley is their 4. That's a different guard for Evan Mobley. I would assume maybe Isaac Okoro is on him. I'm unsure how this goes. Maybe they'll run a little bit of a zone or something like that. But what I'm getting at is offensively, I think Jeremy Grant could be troublesome for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So because of that, I'm going to be going with Jeremy Grant over 16.5 points tonight. Moving on to our fourth play of the day, and it's another points play. You guys know I don't usually target these, but tonight, DeAndre Hunter over 13.5 points as the Atlanta Hawks face off against the Chicago Bulls, okay? You guys have heard me talk about this before. When minutes increase, when volume increases, when shots increase, that's all we can ask for. And tonight is that night for DeAndre Hunter because it's opportunity. Why? John Collins is out. John Collins is the team number 2 option to Trae Young. He gets a lot of rebounds. He gets a good amount of shots per game. And really, DeAndre Hunter is the one sliding in and taking that spot. Danilo Gallinari will be running that 4 position, and he's a decent offensive guy. He has his games. He's up and down, hot, cold. But the true number 2 tonight will be DeAndre Hunter. Kevin Huerter will be running the number 2, and Clint Capela will be running the 5. Not really true offensive guys when in comparison to DeAndre Hunter. And the true mismatch tonight is DeAndre Hunter. Zach LaVine, 6'5". DeMar DeRozan, 6'6". Javonte Green, 6'5", running the 4. DeAndre Hunter is a 6'8" power forward with a 7'2" wingspan. That's going to be a huge mismatch for a lot of those players. And I think there's a reason that PrizePicks doesn't have his rebounds up because he's so long. And when the Bulls have a 6'5", 6'6", and 6'5", 2, 3, 4, that's going to make things a little difficult. And then Clint Capela matches up with Vucevic. I think it's a good night for DeAndre Hunter over 13.5. I think just situational, it's a very good matchup. And, this is also a number that even before this, DeAndre Hunter had a hit at a 50% rate. Once John Collins left, he started hitting this as a 66% rate. So, again, odds in our favor. I'll ride with that. Bulls are an uptick matchup as well for someone like DeAndre Hunter. Give me Hunter tonight. Moving on, okay, we're staying with the Atlanta Hawks, but this time it is Clint Capela over 10.5 rebounds. This is actually probably my favorite play of the day, number 1 play of the day. Love this play. Just stylistically, it matches up very, very well because with Clint Capela, you need a matchup where he needs to be in the game. Okay, you want him going up against a team who will not run small ball. That is the Chicago Bulls. That is Nikola Vucevic. Okay, Vucevic is having a very good season, averaging around 19 points and 12 rebounds per game. Now, Clint Capela needs to come in and he needs to try and stop that, essentially. And because Vucevic runs so many minutes, 30-plus minutes, and the Atlanta Hawks are actually having trouble because they don't have a ton of big bodies right now with John Collins going down. That hurts. So in turn, I think Clint Capela is going to see extended run. I think he's going to see 28-plus minutes. I think he's going to stick around the 30-minute range, if I'm being honest. If Clint Capela is around the 30-minute range, I'm going to take his over 10.5 rebounds every single time. It's just a good play. It's the right play, especially going against Vooch, who in some ways can draw him out to the 3-point line, which you don't want, but he still has to hang out around the basket because this team is so small. Their power forward is 6'5". So in turn, I think Capela eats tonight. Give me Capela over 10.5 rebounds. And that's it for the video today. I'm going to recap very quickly, starting off with Shai GilgeousAlexander over 21.5 points, Steph Curry over 24.5 points, Jeremy Grant over 16.5 points, DeAndre Hunter over 13.5 points, and Clint Capela, my favorite play of the day, at over 10.5 rebounds. And also, I have a couple bonus plays that I liked, honestly around 3 or 4. There's a lot of plays I like today, but they didn't make the top 5. I'm going to put them right here so you can check those out as well. As always, greatly appreciate y'all checking out the Detroit Sports Bettors PrizePicks DFS video. Please give me a follow on my Twitter at ConanasPicks. subscribe to the video. Guys, I'm trying to put out a ton of content going forward. Got a lot of things planned, got a lot of ideas. So please toss me a follow. The sports content will be coming. Greatly appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Let's get it tonight. Peace.